Good morning and welcome to our first look at Titanium Court by A.P. Thompson. This is a weird strategy tile game that it grabbed my attention right away. It looked very, very bizarre. It looked very unique. It had very bizarro marketing for it, and I wanted to check it out for a couple of hours. It's a new little indie game made by one guy. It just seems like a delight. We're going to see how it feels, see how it plays, and dive right on in, starting up a new game. Hopefully getting some music at some point here, but currently there is no music in the menu. A man steps on stage, taps a microphone. I might have to move my face out of the way. Let's slide me into the corner. Good evening! Before we begin the game, there are a few announcements. First, due to unexpected circumstances, the parts of the player will be performed by an understudy. A couple of audible groans and one muffled boo erupts from the audience. Now, there's no need for that. This kid may not be a star yet, but I've seen her rehearse, and I can guarantee that she'll impress you. She may or may not have had to memorize any of her lines, but, well, neither have any of you. The audience laughs. Second, we'd like to warn you that this production features a significant amount of obscenity. But before all the parents in the audience begin covering their children's ears, know this. This stage is enchanted, such that the obscenities can only be heard by those of sufficient emotional maturity to handle hearing them. And finally, the writing room would like to issue an apology for failing to complete the script before this performance. They are working on it as I speak, so it is my pleasure to announce that tonight's performance is also a race. Who will win? The writers furiously working to finish the script, or the performers attempting to perform it? I can't answer that question, but I can announce that the race begins now. We hope you enjoy the game. Where should you start? You are walking through the woods. I can't wait for some music when the world around you shattered. There we go. This was both alarming and inconvenient. Located on a lone stretch of ground, you were transfixed as the broken landscape began to rearrange itself. All right, we got a little like match 3. Your eyes follow trees and hills, collapsing in a line of 3 as if the forest you knew were a knot becoming carefully untangled. You dared not move from your position as the ground beneath your feet quivered in anticipation of shattering further. I got turned down a little bit. That was too much. Dare not move from your position as the ground beneath your feet quivered with anticipation. I mean, it looks like I can move. Oh. You pass the time this way before who knows how long. I feel like I'm out of moves now. Until the court slid into view. At first, you weren't sure you could trust your eyes, but there it was, a great shining structure among the roiling landscape, something stable and enclosed, a shelter. You kept your eyes on it, hoping it would draw close enough that you might peer inside its windows. Surprisingly, the court appeared able to move freely through the broken landscape, disregarding lines of 3 as it approached your position. Oh. And just as it came near, the shattered landscape lurched. With little warning, the forest snapped back together, as if someone had pulled the knot of reality tight once again. Ooh. Except by now it wasn't the forest you knew. It was hardly even a forest. You stood stretched and began the hike towards the court. Oh. A.P. Thompson presents. Later, when the sun hovered over the walls of the horizon, there was a feast within the walls of the court. Hoping to avoid any attention, you sought out a more isolated part of the hall. An empty table near an exit where no one would pay you much mind. A sound plan, except... Oh no, the hall was soon overflowing with people, and your table was no exception. The young man seated by your right began engaging you in idle conversation. The weather, how you found the meal, the role of the individual in a society, how you preferred to make your bed, these sort of subjects. Eventually, he inquired about how you came to arrive at the court. Which Answers my question quite thoroughly while raising many more, he says as you conclude your tale. But forgive me, you haven't actually finished your story, have you? You admit there's a bit more, though you have yet to make sense of it. The people within the court were earnest, but odd. After your arrival, you attempted to get some answers about your whereabouts and the strange circumstances outside, except they spoke mostly in riddles and nonsense, didn't they? They did. Let's find out where you are. So it looks like we've unlocked people. Party goer, maybe? Table? Some sort of cat? A small cat bathing in the sun atop the walls. Obviously, that's who I'm talking to. I like that I guessed that blob was a cat. Said a small cat, meow. Ah, your questions are numerous but inconsequential, for they overlook the current crisis. Meow. What crisis? Why, the crisis whereby my dinner is late. Meow. It is so late, in fact, that I'm not certain the concept of dinner isn't something I invented in a fugue of hunger. Meow. All other societal issues are mere trivialities in comparison to my plight. Purr, please, stranger, might you fill my bowl, thus ending this ravenous standoff? A woman behind you laughs. Oh, don't listen to him. He's been fed twice today already. Next, you... Hold on, are you seriously going to tell me about every individual conversation you had in excruciating detail? No, I'm only going to tell you about the cat. Oh, I mean, yeah, of course. Yes, you are, because if it lets you proceed uninterrupted, you'll learn what of these people played a part and what happened next. Yeah, I mean, let's talk to everybody. A man resting in the shade? Late dinner, right? Shocking. Whoa, pal, before you ask me any more questions, you gotta know my deal. Yeah, my deal is that I can only answer questions you haven't asked. So as to where we are, no can do. Sorry, can't tell you. But what we're doing, oh man, we're a court of faeries on a quest to find our missing queen. He looked to both sides and said, so let me know if you see her. Just don't ask me where she is. All right. Appear in front of a blackboard discussing magic. There appeared to be a seminar of some sort taking place in the courtyard, a seminar on magic, if you understood the text on the blackboard correctly. Okay, first you take a metaphor, and then you stretch it really thin, right? Right, really thin, so thin you forget its original purpose. Then you just inflate it. Right, inflate the metaphor. I prefer to use my lungs for that. Then as it's inflating, you twist it like, hang on, like so. You still following? I think so. And hold on. Ta-da! There, it now resembles a dog, a delight for children and such. Okay, so what happens to the metaphor? Oh, it's a lovely little balloon dog now. They seemed a bit busy, so you left them to it. All right. A woman doing her taxes at a picnic table. I would love to tell you where we are, friend, but I haven't even figured out where we aren't. She gestures at a stack of maps on the table behind her. We're not in any of those places, or at least we weren't. Who knows if that's true now that the tide has come in. You attempted some other tactic, hoping to glean some information. Perhaps you could at least tell you the name of this place? Oh, we call it the Court. Its full name is the Court of, I forgot, something like the Court of Aluminum, but it starts with a T. The Court of Tungsten? I don't know. Maybe I'm new here and I'm bad with names, but I can give you mine. I'm Robin. She held out her hand, which you shook as you introduced yourself. Now, if you excuse me, I should try to sort this out before the tide settles in again. What do we have here? We have money. We have health of the court. Food, wood, log, coin, 1 crown. What did the outside of the court look like from atop the walls? Finding no immediate answers inside the court, you moved to the top of the walls and looked outwards. Perhaps this was something you could see from the vantage that would shed more light on your situation. To the contrary, conditions outside the walls were even stranger than they were at the time of your arrival. The rest of the shattered landscape had now melted away. The court stood alone amid a void. ... But not for long. Like a rush of water, new surroundings began to surround. Ooh, there's people over here. Much of the new topography was familiar. You could identify fields, water, woods, and hills. But there was something else. A menacing group of other courts were also part of the landscape. I just love that, like, certain words are shuddering to be like, ooh, dangerous. You're not alone in noticing these courts. Someone shouted, the war is here. This can't be. Puck said no wars until we find the queen. Then perhaps we should explain that to them. Surrounded by the enemy on all sides and bereft of an obvious course of action, the people of the court began to pray. A man stepped forward and offered the first prayer. I genuinely wish no harm upon our enemy. I merely pray that they would fade into obscurity. Oh, like this? Oh, yep, that worked. Oh, this bar is going down as I merge them. Wow, I didn't expect that to work, but thanks. A woman named Robin offered the next prayer. My notes are quite clear on this. Prayer does not work. This time, we're much better spent staring the court. Their soldiers cannot cross water. We should try to take shelter behind a moat until the tide comes in. Well, that seems like now they're right next to me. Now that river protects us from nearly half the field. Hills should also slow their advance, so for my next prayer, but the next prayer did not belong to Robin. The next prayer belonged to the cat. Meow! Long as we're making demands of God, then my wish is ever is to be fed. Good cat. Boom. Psst. Hey. Probably didn't notice, but something just happened over here. What happened is by matching fields, the court has just acquired more food. Similarly, other parts of the battlefield can be matched in water, wood, or stone. None of these fairies in the court will tell you this. Their religion forbids them from acknowledging the existence of the user interface. But I am a secular tooltip. I fear no god. I will do my best to provide you with this vital information. You're welcome. Thank you, secular tooltip. Oh, yes, more of that, please. This game is delightful so far. All right, more food for the cat. Oh no, all my moats! Robin then bemoaned the loss of the moat, and we face even more of the enemy before. Why do I bother? The scholars at the blackboard now chimed in. We've identified the most strategically sound location. This spot right here. The top right corner. Okay, if we can steer them over there carefully, we should be fine. Sitting pretty. But Robin interjected, look at the clock. It's almost low tide. We have time left for only one more move. I don't know where we see that. Here, I guess? Hi again. The clock and time left Robin alludes to is in fact this unassuming progress bar at the edge of your vision. Thank you, secular tooltip. Much like life, every move you make will deplete some of your remaining time. If we only have one prayer left, what do we should ask for? Pray for a miracle. Oh, I see what's going to happen. Boom, boom, boom. Well, that's a start. Apologies, but rather another explanation. For me, your humble tooltip is in order. The previous move chained multiple matches together. Because of this, you have earned bonus time. The fairies of the court, this might as well be a miracle. Is there any chance we could do that again, whatever that was? But there was no such chance. The next prayer would be the last one. Incidentally, the next prayer also belonged to you. Unsure of what any of this meant, you indicated to the people around you that you made a pointless decision. Oh, I guess it doesn't... You imitated the people around you and made a pointless decision. I mean, there's... That's a match. That's a match. I guess I should have matched the trees. The battlefield policed together as the court snapped to attention. Places, everybody. Windows were shuttered, doors were slammed, throngs of people emerged from inside and formed a gate line near the gate. It's a good person secular tooltip. It's a very good tooltip. Very helpful. A tap on your shoulder, one of the scholars. We could use some help in the dressing room if you have a free hand. Very good. Along with the scholars introduced you as Hop and Skip, you sorted through a large pile of costumes, props, and weapons. Check the tag on that. Make sure I put it together properly. Click and hold. Hold. Farmer. Working fairies gather food from fields. If it looks correct, feel free to hand it out. Click to use. You handle the bundle of farmer's apparel to the first person in line. Unperturbed by the idea of harvesting wheat in the middle of a battle, they whistled as they marched out the front gate. Now do it again to deploy another farmer. Now see if this one fits anybody. Soldier, offensive, attacks the enemy. 3 food, 1 wood, 1 stone. You hand a bunch of armor and weapons to the next person in line. She tested the weight of her weapon. I haven't received any training, so I'm planning to hit anything that doesn't belong to us. After this minimal preparation, the scholars consider their work finished. I'd place our chances of survival somewhere near abysmal, but I'm afraid this is the best we can do. A small mercy, at least, that the queen isn't here to witness this. And so you wait with the others for the battle to commence. I gotta pester you one more time before I take my leave. This is the undo button. Use it to change your mind as many times as you wish before starting the battle. However, the official editorial position of this tooltip is that you are liable to lose no matter how many times you change your mind presently. When you're ready to lose, press the play button to proceed with the battle. I will now leave you in peace. But should you ever desire the company of your loyal tooltip, all you need to do is click and hold over any button or tile. What's this one? Monarch, offensive job. Turn property damage into profit. Earn money when you destroy castles. Well, what if I have 2 guys? Can I make like 1, 2?
Hello. Hello.
Why not? We got 5 guys. Commence the battle. Yeah, look at him go. Uh-oh. Dead end. We got baseball batted. Mac, hello. Okay. Is that glass half full or half empty? And then, sometime later, as the sun hovered low over the horizon, there was a feast within the walls of the court. The man to your right is laughing. Okay, so our court, caught off guard by the sudden war, stumbled behind enemy lines, made a token of resistance, and was summarily toppled. Do I have that right? It appears to be an accurate summary. I'm certainly glad I slept through that. As you look at the surroundings, a switch flips in your mind. Your own little story makes sense now that you think of it. How did you... don't worry about it. If our court wouldn't withstand physical destruction, we couldn't last 5 minutes in the pull of the tide. But enough of that. It's time I made some introductions. As you've narrowly avoided learning, this place is called the Titanium Court. Meanwhile, I have the honor of being the steward of this court. My name is Puck, although my lovers and enemies call me Goodfellow. Robin Goodfellow, as he's often known as. Which is very curious, because there's another character called Robin. I am chief advisor and friend eternal to our fair queen. As fancy as that sounds, in practice it means he's unemployed. One of your scholars named Hop has approached your table. He appears to have had a drink or two or four. He pulls up a seat between the two of you and assumes a jovial attitude. Guess the queen stood up to us, eh, good fellow? Lucky for her, I'd say. I'd skip town too if I knew what a sorry show in the court would make. But on the plus side, we can continue draining her wine cellar. Now you're going to help me with that, good fellow, or are you going to just stare at me? Puck, staring at the scholar, mouth agape, slowly inhales and pinches his nose. What fools these! How drunk are you, Hop? The queen is right here. I've been speaking to her for the entire feast. Record scratch. An excited hush falls over the entire hall. Hop blinks, looks at you, looks at Puck, turns bright red. I see it now. This calls for Her Majesty's finest vintage. I guess we're the queen. As Hop makes an exit, you look steadily at Puck and shake your head. There's no use denying it now, not after the tale you told me. If you'd like more proof, just take a look at where you're seated. You slowly take in your surroundings. Uh-oh, we are at the head of the table. Puck smiles. If I may conclude my introductions, let me present the court to your majesty. And likewise, he stands up and addresses the entire crowd. Long absent, the queen of Titanium Court, always a stranger, has arrived. Cheers erupt, dessert is served. That was great. To your left, Hop returns with an armful of glasses and bottles. And about time, too, good fellow. Did you tell her about the war? All right. Introduction complete. Chapter 1, a place beloved only by clowns and criminals. And then, just a short while after the feast, the court returns to war. You're in charge of the war now, your majesty. You should be fine. Just remember everything we've taught you about magical warfare. Blinking slowly, you remind them that at this exact moment, they have taught you roughly nothing about magical warfare. Good. She remembers quite clearly. When the field is broken, arrange it to your advantage. Consult the ever-changing map. Inspect your available units. I mean, I guess consult the ever-changing map. You don't know what any of this means. Aha! Thank you, tooltip. A plant possessing a friendly false face. Battlefield. Stump. A seat announcing new beginnings. The soapbox of the natural world. Storage unit. Fountain. Local nonprofit focused on distributing wishes to the underserved. A bird cage creates a moat at the start of battle. Signage dripping with symbolism. Okay. Those are my units. Ah, okay. Ah, so not every one of these castles has soldiers. Uh-huh. What's this one? Stump. Okay. I mean, moats are good, right? They can't get around moats. Oh, right, and I only have so many moves. Okay. Make preparations for the oncoming battle. I guess it's everybody I can do. Ah, and hills slow us down. Okay, so you actually want fields near you so that you can make what? Bread? Bread. And then you get majesty points if you destroy these guys. Cool. Jenga! All right. I'm starting to understand. Well, having achieved some kind of victory in the war, you wonder if someone in the court might help you return home. It would be our pleasure if you can show us the way. That was only one battle. There are many more to come, if my notes are to be trusted. If you understand this map correctly, if it even is a map, there appears to be some sort of signage just ahead. Perhaps if you can reach those signs, you'll learn more about where you actually are and how to get home. We merely need to be swept forward by the tide as we've been all along. Okie dokie. I want some fields near me. Nice. That's what I was hoping for. Okay, now we have a field and we have a castle. I don't know that there's any way to get rid of these guys. No idea how to access a storage unit. I need 3 food, 1 wood, 1 gold. Oh, and I do need water to get farmers, so. Let's do that. In fact, let's do that. Get some more water. There's 2 soldiers down here, which is slightly alarming. Auntie Brian, good morning. Welcome, welcome. I ain't sure I really have any other moves here. It did say the castle can move freely. Right? Yeah, it can. Oh, but it uses a lot of time. Why don't I get that forest? Oh, that's pretty good. These guys are now cut off by a lot of mountains. I don't really have an answer for this dude, but... I'm gonna tuck myself in here. Oh, interesting. Storage. Take a look inside the storage unit. You're quite curious about what you might find inside the storage unit, but it's locked. Oh, well, all right. That didn't really help me. We got 2 of those guys. 3 of those guys. I guess that's all we got. Slam dunk. Cat knocking over a vial of water. Oh man, our soldiers are clearing house right now. Nice. Gold. I don't know how the ever-changing map clears right now, so... Agents moving castle, right? While your field is broken, arrange it to your advantage. What is this? Aren't some of the enemy courts empty? You've noticed a subtle difference between some of the enemy courts on the battlefield. While many enemy courts have soldiers prominently stationed outside the gates, there are also a couple of them that appear completely empty. You think you can maybe assume that these empty ones will not attack the court during the coming season. Yes, you could assume that. Additionally, you can see when enemy soldiers will attack the court over here in the timeline. Even soldiers might be no threat if you can deal with their courts before they attack. And we also have a pumpkin. All right. Well, there's a lot of these guys here. Oy, oy, oy. Get rid of them and then them. That is a crowd. He's pretty far away. I'm gonna need water. Oof. All right, we're gonna do that and then get rid of them. That's another. A bit worried about that. These guys are pretty far away. That's the thing is you can't really like tell where people are going to come from. Necessarily. God damn. Huh. I don't have a lot of time left here. Can they attack on a diagonal? That I'm actually not so sure on. Tell you what, we're just going to move over here.
Oh.
4 soldiers? All right, well, that's pretty good. Cool. So they're going to smash that castle down. That was the threat to me. Oh, no. They're going to get slowed down coming over this mountain. Oh, no, unless they go around the mountain. Soldiers, get back to the castle. There's a lot of guys coming in here. Okay, the castle actually took some hits there, too. So that's good to know. We do have like a limited HP. Mundo, good morning. A menacing birdcage suddenly appears in front of the court. Your Majesty, I've seen notes on this foe. Let me know if you'd like to see them. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd like to see them. Right, my notes say, first at the start of low tide, the birdcage will flood its surrounding territories with water. Following that, the birdcage will attack the court with birds. Fighting it proves tricky. If it's surrounded by water, the court soldiers are unable to reach it. You agree and wonder if there's an approach the court could take. Either way, you thank Robin for the information. Huh. I mean, if it's surrounded by water, if I surround the surroundings, would we not be able to reach it? That would be my thought. That. And that. There's a chest on that patch of land. We should be able to recover its content as long as it remains in sight until low tide. Well, let's definitely get rid of these 3 dweebs. Okay, so if this surrounds all of this with water, that should be a match, a major match across all of that. Honestly, this guy down here is the only one I got to worry about right now. And I would also say I don't really feel like I have to worry about him that much. I don't have any water right now, so let's grab that. Oh, and we got another chest there. As low tide begins, the birdcage surrounds itself with a moat. Oh. Oh, well. I thought it was going to match. Open a chest. A selection of goods for the taking. I don't know what these are. Gunboat. Offensive enemy attacks the enemy via water. Bird. Offensive winged faerie, unhindered by terrain. You cost 3 food, 1 wood. You cost 2 wood, 2 rock. I mean, I feel like let's get this bird, right? Oh, we can get all of these. Oh, we can also sell them for money. Yours, all yours. The chests are empty. It is now safe to shut them. Well, I have a lot of stuff around via boats, so I feel like that's a good idea. That's probably a good idea. I actually have a few birds I could summon here. I think the birds are just better than soldiers in general. Yeah? Couple of farmers? Caw-caw! Ooh, good gunboating. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Those birds are coming in hot, man. Oh, my gunboat! Oh, I'm toast. With time and repetition comes comfort. You feel your maximum level of comfort has increased to 1. Okay. The next morning, you awaken a strange bed. The bed is strange, not because it is your usual bed, but because it is also not the bed you fell asleep in. Puck told you any room within the court might be the queen's, so you parted with him at the first room you found that wasn't already occupied. A small chamber beneath the staircase, a twin-sized bed with a light stamp and a lamp, a small desk in the corner, no windows. Meanwhile, the bed you awaken is a queen-sized and contained within a spacious chamber that opens into a balcony. Wow, so bougie. Birds got the boat. The birds got everything, man. I got attacked by like 6 birds. The balcony overlooks the courtyard of your new home. You appear to be roughly 5 stories above the ground. Your bed chambers. There's so many like weird, I don't know if to call them mini games or what. Take a look at your possessions. You look over the scant possessions that were on your person when you arrived at the court. Everything appears to be where you left it, with one irritating exception. Somewhere between your arrival and now, you've managed to misplace your keys. In a way, you're supposed to manage to misplace the locks those keys were intended for. A mystery, admittedly, of much greater concern to you than the missing keys. All right, well, let's go. Explore the court. What should you do here? Return to your office, investigate the dining hall. Wait, there's a man named Puck. You have a lot to say to him. I guess let's talk to Puck. You have a lot of things to ask him. Oh! He quickly exits the scene. You might be imagining it, but he seemed to retreat the moment he saw your approach. Well, let's go to the dining hall. Grab some breakfast. In light of the day, the feasting hall closely resembles a common dining area. You collect some breakfast from the buffet and look for a table. You would prefer to sit somewhere out of the way near an exit. You sit in the most nondescript location you can find, a corner near a trash bin. Before you finish a bite, the whole host of faerie courtiers arrive with their meals and sit with you. They make idle conversation and a few honest attempts at answering your myriad of questions, none of them successful. As you complete the meal, you idly note that your table is now the most lively and boisterous table in the hall. You also note, idly, that despite your assurances that this would answer all your questions, the man named Puck remains nowhere to be seen. As a result of eating breakfast, you get a small bonus. 10 food. Okay, I guess we'll go to the office. Oh. Go to war, look out the window. Let's look out the window. Some dogs catching frisbees in the courtyard, just out of frame. Yes. These are excellent. Neat. Neat indeed. Well, I guess let's go to war. Oh, we can look at the map. Ooh. Catapults. Matches with all castles. Fires from a distance, but is blocked by hills. Decently flammable. We have a glass house that sells potions. We have a billboard giving you helpful information. All right, nope. Off to war. After breakfast, the court goes to war. You ready yourself with a question. Your Majesty, is the intensity of the war to your liking? Feel free to adjust the thermostat. Make things a little easier on yourself. Current comfort 0 out of 1. With her calculator returned to her, Robin can give you a detailed analysis of the battlefield. Start with 2 mulligans to let you retry a losing battle. Start with the ability to produce miners, lumberjacks, and increase the market transaction limit by 1. Let's produce miners, because I feel like stone is something I never had enough of. Cool. So that's sort of like the metagame progression. Interesting. Jareth, good morning. The best bedroom belongs to the cat. Yeah, we didn't get to see the cat at all in that interaction. Despite falling short of yesterday, you're confident you can reach those signs. Very good, Your Majesty. Your approach is quite admirable, quite steadfast. All right, well, let's get rid of use. There's nobody really threatening us here. What are our miners cost? 2 food. Ooh, a chest. All right, we actually have a lot of food. If I could keep this, this would be very good. Because there's stuff we can mine, there's stuff we can destroy, and there's stuff we can get food for. So my next question would be, can I get this? I don't know what that does. Each one of those we destroy is good. Ah, see, that was the worry I run into here. Lots of food available now. Like, all of this is just free resources. So there's little reason not to pick this stuff up. Okay. We got some chests. Lumberjacks or cold hard cash. Actually, both. Cold hard cash, get it. Make preparations for the coming battle. So, we definitely have miners around. I'd like at least a soldier. And I feel like there's a lot of food around. I'm gonna get a second warrior. And then 4 miners. And I guess we'll leave the rest. I can't tell if it's like worth leaving or keeping, honestly. Let's go all miners. I don't know how much transition's over. Oh, I guess the more guys you build, also the longer they take to deploy. That's important to consider. Earn money when you destroy stuff. Okay. Oh, that's cool. You can speed things up by also just like holding down. Provide a minor advantage. Oh, yeah. So yeah, I don't know how it decides where we go. Maybe it like depends on where we are on this map. Okay, so we have 26 ore this time around, but we have no water at the moment. And we also have basically no wood. I'm gonna leave those. I'd like to get rid of him. If and we can manage that. We have a bit of wood around too. Honestly, we have all three of our resources around, so this is a nice spot to be. We're gonna need some water. You tap on your shoulder. Robin points to a building in your distance. The shop is neutral in conflict. Consider stocking up on supplies, only if it stays into view. You can call them up to check their inventory. Before you can proceed, the voice stops you and says, if you understand how money works. No, I don't understand how money works. You thought you understood a lot of things before the world shattered, and now you might as well understand nothing. I don't need your life story, ma'am. I just got to make sure you know where money comes from. First thing you got to know is where money doesn't come from. You're probably used to getting stuff like this randomly during high tide, right? Well, that's not going to work for money. Instead, you get money by doing your job. You do have a job, right? You don't think you have a job. Come on, I got caller ID. I know you're a fancy fairy queen of the fancy fairy court fighting the fancy fairy war. That's totally a job. Got more confidence. Get more confidence. Anyway, fairy queens usually earn money by defeating the enemy castles on the battlefield. Knock them down and money pops out. Also, maybe you can get money by selling stuff. Maybe to us, but doing your job is a surefire method. Now that you've got given you the talk, how about I tell you what we got for sale? We're closed during high tide, but here's what we would have for sale if we were open. Oh no, the guy who tells me what things are won't tell me what things are. Okay, well, I see little guys with axes. I wouldn't mind. That looks like a lumberjack, but a lumberjack with a shield? That maybe looks like a fountain. That looks like a wall to me. Ma'am, this is a Wendy's. That's a lot of resources there. That's right. Getting double things gives us time back. I actually forgot about that. This guy's so far away, I don't think he's a threat. And again, I don't really have a lot of links left to do. I really don't need stone right now. And I really do need to know what else is up here, so... More stone. Desperate for water. Damn, 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 damn. Nice. Okay, we could get rid of all three of those soldiers. That's as good as we're going to get, apparently. Let's check the shop out. The shop is open. Yeah, you're not going to tell me what anything is. Oh, there we go. Angler uses ancient magic, transforms water into food. Shield, a defensive rock, takes damage in place of your court. Ranger, working defensive fairy, gathers wood from forests and defends the court. A defensive structure, present vertical difficulty. Trade wood at market prices. Well, I feel like definitely let's buy a ranger. I have so much stone. I do feel like a wall is also a good bet. Oh, we have to build it somewhere. Maybe I don't want that wall. Transform water into food using lumber. I don't really have that much lumber right now. I could just buy some lumber, though. Do you think I have to be, like, right next to the water to be able to use the fish? So right now I'm like 2 farmers and who knows what else. No idea what I'm looking at. Is this like a new Candy Crush? It's like a man, it's a combination of a lot of different games. It's got a little match 3 in here, but then it's also kind of like that Tetris game, Drop Duchy. This guy's showing up really late in the day as well, so seems to be temp 2. Yeah, so this is as you increase your comfort, I guess the temperature goes up. Oh, I see. Okay, so because I unlocked miners, I lose 1 tick of time. I think that's what that's saying. Titanium Court, unrepentantly stylish war game amid fairy courts. Yeah, that's a pretty good summary. Gonna lurk a bit? Enjoy. I don't know that we need to shop anything. All right, I think I'm just gonna...
Oh.
Definitely let's get a couple of these lumberjacks out. I want the 2 farmers. Do I need soldiers at all? I have so much wood. There's no need for miners this time around. That's for darn tootin'. You know what, man? There's a lot of castles. Let's go like that. See how we do. Oh, I didn't understand. I thought they would also take castles out. Oh, there's so much lost money here. The good news is there's a ton of wood. They will fight the guys that arrive, though. All right, well, we got a boatload of wood out of it, at least. I still have no idea how that second map works. A billboard in the middle of the battlefield. There appears to be a billboard in some sort of the scattered elements. You better go to the outside walls to get a better look. You need law. That thing gives me the creep, Your Majesty, as if we're about to be sued just looking at it. You agree, it might be best to look away, lest you draw unwanted legal attention. Helpfully informs you of available goods and or services. Does it? I'm not so sure it did. You know what? That guy is pretty tucked away. If I do that, I get rid of you. If I do that, I get rid of all of them. That's a big water. Ooh, we also got a ton of other stuff. Another structure wades into view. You suppose this is another... Look, Your Majesty, a temple of market. Should you wish to pay your respects, it needs only stay. In view until low tide. Market forbids trading during high tide, but you can check the forecasters to predict the future. Ah, okay. So that allows us to trade like any goods. Okay, unfortunately, I have summoned a lot more dudes. 1, 2, 3. That would drop you here. What I need right now is water. Nice, nice. I did lose my market, but... do that and then kill those 3. He's a bit of an issue. This guy is currently, like, super blocked off. Now, that being said, I do want that water. Don't I always, though? Isn't that my problem? What do these guys take? 3 food, 1 wood, 1 stone. You know, man, if I just get a bunch of food somehow. I feel like I could have a ton of soldiers right now. Right now. Ooh, nice. I will get rid of that water. I only have 1 more food here. 1 more move here. Sorry, I'm gonna get food. Oh, nice. I did manage to get a second. We're here. So we're surrounded by basically everything. If I put a couple of lumberjacks... I'm assuming I still have those lumberjacks? I do. So I could put a couple lumberjacks here and they'd protect me from this guy coming in. This guy will never reach me. Honestly, I think I might just grab that. Ended up with a few more soldiers than I was hoping for, but that's okay. So I'm gonna go like 2 lumberjacks because we have so much stone. Oh wait, I gotta make sure they come out in order. Grab 2 soldiers. I feel like I should go ham on the farms, but maybe not actually, because all these farms are really hard to get to because of the stone. It might change if we have a couple of miners.
Oh.
I'm gonna build 1 miner. All right, I'm good with that. Trying to be smart about like how many guys we put out at once, because I don't know how much it takes to deplete like a farm, for example. Nice. Is it infinite? Maybe only the castles get destroyed. My soldiers all got killed, but that was good. The lumberjacks saved me as I had hoped. And now the core finds itself surrounded by catapults. To be perfectly precise, those appear to be trebuchets. Given that trebuchets are a subcategory of catapult, you don't see any reason why you can't just call them catapults. Very well, my queen. I retreat in the face of your overflowing wisdom. That's a lot of catapults. For a game set in the Feywilds, there's a lot less cannibalism than I thought. Could sell all of our wood and stuff. That's true. Matches with the castle. Fires from a distance, but is blocked by hills. Well, well, well. Strange building comes into view. As you observe it, the phone in your office rings. Yeah, hey, Titanium Court, your majesty. I'm calling from the glass house. Yeah, we sell potions. As our name suggests, we firmly oppose the act of throwing stones in any and all forms. Therefore, we'd like to offer you our full support to the Titanium Court in our campaign against those stone-throwing trebuchets. To start, here's a pro tip, free of charge. Hills will block the projectiles fired from catapults. Just surround your court with hills and you'll be safe. And if that doesn't work, we sell a variety of instant-use potions that can help you deal with the threat. Give us a call. We'll be happy to help. Click. Who was it, your majesty? You explained that it was a telemarketer, albeit one whose pitch might prove useful. Wow, rare. Want to set something on fire for two wood. Okay. Make mountains out of anything. Flood wherever you want. Or a potion of teleport. Okie day. So that one is blocked, and that one is blocked. But basically, everybody else is not. And they will keep spawning. You're the final one. You're a final one. Oh, you're blocked. That's nice. But only for as long as nothing here moves. You're blocked. You are blocked. You're blocked. You're blocked. So currently, everything is blocked. Can maybe get rid of a few more of these catapults. I don't know if it really does anything for me. That feels like it's hitting, but it's not. Sugar. All right, well, I better buy that potion then. Because that guy's not blocked anymore. Decently flammable. Oh my god. Okay, I also have to buy a mountain. Put it there. Well, technically I don't need to have burned you at all anymore unless these catapults intend to smash all that stuff. All right. Well, we don't need to buy anything else. What do we have? We have lumberjacks. I don't know that soldiers do anything. Yeah, they only attack enemy castles. Oh, these do count as castles, though. That's all clear. Why don't I buy two? Just for fun. We'll pick up a couple lumberjacks, a couple of miners. Maybe a couple of farmers. See how we do. Oh yeah, they're going to be slowed down by the forest as well. I forgot about that. Boy, I like that that was like decently flammable, but it took so long to burn. Oh, it's burning everything else around it after it blows up. Interesting. So the fire spreads. That's pretty cool. Slam dunk. The catapults continue their assault, although you note that there are now slightly fewer of them hanging around. That's still a lot, right? Remote in Russian is Pult, so catapults could be cat's remote if it doesn't belong to the cat or who controls it. Noted. Cats to blame for catapults. What do we have at the potion shop? Fire. Okay, all the same stuff. Oh no, I have to sneeze. Ow. Sheesh. Get rid of them. Get rid of them. All right, so this guy is the only immediate threat. Let's see if I can create some other immediate threats, if that's the case. Are we all clear except for this guy? Who shoots directly over this water tile. So I could replace this water tile with a mountain. I'd like some of these farms to be closer. I can also, like, move the court. I'm going to do this because it's going to drop it down 1. So that'll still be blocked, and that should get blocked by the one I put there. Yeah. Which will also block him. Would it block him if I put him there, though? I better not risk it. Oh, you have to use all of your movement. You know, I'm gonna have to do that then. Okay, I think we're still okay there. If I just build one mountain right there. Tax, tack, 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 tack. Okay, everybody's good. So, why don't we build some soldiers? Because they can start smashing catapults. Lumberjack. Get as much food as I can. It's wild how much this forest slows down gathering. I do love this little guitar riff. The Delightful design. The tide washes away the last of the catapults. You seem to have weathered the storm. The threat of the catapults now eliminated. The glass house pulls up next to the court and you receive another phone call. Ring, ring. The salesman offers congratulations for your victory and asks if there's any further assistance he might provide. You answer immediately, asking if he knows a way for you to return home. Oh, definitely. Let's pull over somewhere. I'll draw you a map. Doop, 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 doop. The salesman shows you the map and explains the directions. Okay, you've seen this before, right? You have, but no one thus far has offered an explanation for any of it. Correct. You assumed it was some sort of map. It kind of is, but it changes every day, so I'd say it's more of a weather report. It's pretty simple. Each of these rows is a battlefield. Within a given row, each column is a battlefield. Each of these rows is a battlefield. Within a given row, each column is a battlefield. Okay. No, I don't understand. You'll figure it out. More importantly, did you know that you can choose from 3 potential battlefields before every battle? No, you did not know that. Here's where you're at right now, smack in the middle of the war. To get home, you're first going to have to make it to a victory, which is right up here. Before or after the dragon? After, of course. But making it to the end isn't enough. After that, you need to make an exit. Make an exit. Given the abstract nature of movement through the tide, would he be willing to elaborate on that? Oh, it's confusing, right? These routes were conjured back in the 60s. Everyone was hopped up on an allegory or something. Around here, making an exit means you've got to conspicuously leave the path you're on. You know, like you've got to fundamentally change as a person. Okay. This might be a long shot, but does he have any specific advice for how you might do that, preferably in a safe and non-traumatizing way? Do I ever, Your Majesty? That's our specialty. He sweeps his arms back to reveal a shelf of bottles under a marquee that reads love potions. Is he attempting to make a joke? Not at all. Nothing changes a person more than love. You take a deep breath. If his love potions function like those described in stories, forcing an individual to fall in love with a person they otherwise have no interest in, then you absolutely have no interest in taking them. Your Majesty, with all due respect, that's messed up. I don't sell anything like that. You've been hearing some weird rumors, huh? I blame my competitors. Let me set the record straight. My potions cannot create love from nothing. They merely expand the love that already exists within you. Seeing your shoulders relax, he continues with his pitch. If you're new to love potions, I definitely recommend starting small. Like this one, full of love for something called baseball. This one's great for beginners. The effects are really mild. Drink it and you'll end up liking this baseball just a bit more than you already do. You suppose that sounds relatively harmless. If he thinks it will help you return home, you might as well give it a try. Come on, put your wallet away. I'm not going to charge you for it. Just take it. And so you return to the court with a new map of liking of the war and a single complimentary potion of liking baseball. This game is weird. I'm for it, though. Libby, hello, good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You have a certain idea of what you're looking at here. Based on what the salesman told you, this is either a map or a weather report. Either way, the important thing is that you can choose which upcoming battlefields to traverse. Which battlefield should you traverse? Why don't we go with wheat? Flora, unremarkable, +2. Shop, catapults and goons. Extra fields, +2 food. Missing hills has a market, scamps and goons. Woods, missing fields has extra chests, knights and goons. I feel like let's go here. Catapults and goons. There's a new sign on the battlefield. You look through the spyglass at the sign in the distance. Dead end. Oh, I know this one. There's a memento mori. I heard they're popular among mortals. This one is quite simple, perhaps even unrefined. It says dead end, so any mortal who reads it remembers exactly what awaits them at the end. In case they forgot, precisely. You deem it unnecessary to offer any sort of correction. Okie day. Yeah, moving the castle's really expensive. That's a twofer. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's magic. Man, there's a lot of soldiers here. You moved that. This guy's top, so I gotta get rid of him. Dripping with symbolism. 20 HP. It's like, will my soldiers attempt to destroy that is a question I have. I like that I'm protected by mountains right now. I'd like to get some more water if we can. Don't do that. Okay, you're good. You're good. So none of the catapults are a threat. At least not yet. If I did that, it would get rid of all those stones, which would not really help me out. This guy's gonna take forever to get to me. I don't, and he spawns so late that I'm not really worried about him. That guy spawns pretty early. That guy spawns early, but he's super far away. I could do this and then get rid of those three up top. Obviously, the biggest issue here is that catapult then gets a shot, but I think it's still going to be blocked. He hopes. Blocked. 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 Okay, any extra water then is what I want here. Easier said than done. Gonna have to drop him down. If I do that, that would be okay. 'Cause that's gonna move with them. I could get water here. That wouldn't really screw up anything. Okay. Definitely soldiers. I'm going to want a ton of farmers. I think I'll grab 2 lumberjacks just in case. You know what, let's go 4 soldiers, 2 lumberjacks, rangers, and then just a boatload of farmers. See how that does. Slave dog. Okay, that's nice. That guy's never going to reach me. My soldiers are slowing everyone down there. I don't know if they go after the farmers, but they got to get over those hills, so it's not an issue. You played guitar for Scams and Goons? It's a good band. Going against blood test, yeah. Hopefully fun blood tests. Or regular blood tests. Nothing a good book, a cup of tea can't fix, yep. Not allowed to feed the problem through a wood chipper, too much paperwork. No, the wood chipper. If only it could solve all our problems. What do we got here? We got chests and rare chests. Extra water. Catapults and goons. This one's got a shop. Knights and goons. Catapults and goons. I mean, dude, let's go rare chests with extra water. The field is broken. Arrange it to your advantage. The storage unit remains locked. What do we got? Well. Nice. Let's drop those guys down. Then I can just shatter a bunch of them. And we got a chest. Not a rare chest, but a chest. I don't have any way to solve the catapults this time. So unless I have mountains, which currently, I gotta tell you, I don't. I do have them. So let's get rid of that. And let's get rid of them. Yeah. You're blocked. You're not. That's a fast catapult. Ooh, rare chest. You're blocked. Are you blocked now? You are. You're pretty slow, so I feel like my guys could just take you out. Oh, I got rid of the good chest. That's upsetting. Kill off them. Damn, dude. Made a rare chest and I got rid of it. Green hills. Global broadcast hills reveal their true nature as forests. All boulders become forests. I'm going to sell that one. Portable wall. Defensive rock. Build a wall that you can move about the battlefield. Sure, let's get that. It's an embarrassing turn of event. You're unable to complete the transaction because your hand is full. You need to drop something. Allow me, when interacting with a shop or chest, simply click your card to free them up for sale. That's the only way to get rid of cards. You're welcome. So let's get rid of this lumberjack then. Because I don't need... Sorry, how do I get rid of him? Ah. Just click him. And now we have an emergency portable wall. I like that very much, thank you. Is this storage locker still locked? Yeah, it sure is. I think I'll build a few of them. Oh, Couple of farmers. Couple lumberjacks. A miner. Yeah, sure, that's plenty. I mostly just need him to trash this one catapult. We actually have a ton of money right now, too, which is nice. I wonder if they get to this storage locker, will they open it? No. But they will try to trash that castle. Success. Nice. Can they get that catapult, too? That's extra money. Nice. Huge cash. 20 bucks in the bank. Now, we're up against the dragon. No U-turns. As the court immediately moves motionless across the void, it suddenly encounters a neighbor. Their courtiers cry out in alarm, used by a great dragon soaring above his lair in the distance. The legendary apex predator opens his mouth and addresses the court. Here is what he says. Yeah, could I get hang on, let me look at the menu. He sweeps his gaze over the court, doubling back when he catches sight of you atop its walls. Oh man, I'll have a Fairy Queen combo meal. No pickles. Hold the lettuce. Which battlefield do we want to fight in? Unremarkable. Centaurs and goons. Scamps and goons. We've got woods, chests, rare chests, wormholes, and goons. Extra bread and rare chests. Well, dude, I gotta try out a wormhole. We haven't seen that before. You notice that battlefield is littered with a bunch of ominous. What are those? Are those wormholes? I'm not sure what to call them, Your Majesty, but those things are bad news. The tide seems to group them with the enemy, but they never disappear when matched. Instead, they appear to merge with their neighboring castles, retaining every soldier those neighbors possess. If prayer actually worked, I would pray that we would not see them grow. They remain harmless as long as they're empty. Robin has notes on how the dragon behaves in battle. The dragon's first priority is to cook every faerie we send into the field. Once all our units are cooked, he'll turn his attention to the court itself. If we can find a way to spread our units far and wide, we might be able to withstand the assault. Or we could try to keep our units on hills or water where fire is much less effective. Even if he doesn't burn all the court directly, we're still in danger of catching fire from neighboring fields and woods. Those are all the notes we have. Perhaps the dragon be bribed to leave you alone. Your scholars determine that based on current meteorological readings, an adequate bribe for the dragon should be about 50 food. I mean, what happens if I hit yes? Unfortunately, the court storehouses are presently incapable of satiating the dragon's appetite. Best not to try. Okay. The good news is that I am very far away from the dragon. I think the best thing I could do is if I could get myself down below. This would be a double, because that wood would drop. And then, ideally, if I could move the dragon. We have 20 bucks, so we can buy a bunch of stuff, too. Two guys there. Merges and grows when matched with castles. Well, I don't want to do that. I do want to surround myself by as many mountains and water tiles as possible. I guess. I mean, obviously he can fly, so... If I did this, doesn't really help us. If I did that, it puts a mountain between us. Put a mountain here. So at least then I'm like protected. Like there's a single choke point. But it said I had to like spread these guys, try to spread these guys out. This wormhole is in a really not ideal spot. And get rid of them. Currently, none of those guys can really get to me. I'm gonna try that. Another wormhole. Rare chest, at least, though. Okay, I could get rid of those guys. Here's the problem. If I get rid of them, that's going to drop that water. So it's going to put a castle here. And then a forest. It's not the worst. I think let's do it. It'll also give us time back. Destroyed all those as well. Okay. Let's do that. This guy is totally blocked off by water now. That's nice. So that's like 2 units that can't get to us. We can't really get to the dragon. We do have to spread our units out, which I'm not really sure how exactly we go about doing. But we also get 2 rare chests right now. I don't want to do that, and I don't want to do that. I could get rid of a stack of mountains. If I stack those mountains, that would drop him to here. That's okay. Make that work. If I took those trees, that would still be okay. Imagine how awkward it would be if you offered 50 food, but half of it was pickles. I mean, nothing wrong with pickles, right? In the demo, the moment the dragon opens his mouth to speak is when the narrator awkwardly announces that the performers have reached the writers and there's no more to the script until the full game comes out. Only the secular tooltip is unbothered by the news. Interesting. VM, hello. Good morning. I think let's grab these trees. That's still okay. And then I'd be safe to take this food. Man. This is a crazy, crazy setup. We have all sorts of rare trinkets this time. Anglers. Post-rock, defensive broadcasts designate all hills as valid military targets for both friends and foes. Interesting. Transforms water into food at the cost of wood. I feel like if that's the case, let's sell the farmer, get the angler, build a wall you can move about the battlefield, defensive rock. This seems really valuable because I feel like I don't know if the dragon and everybody else will try attacking all of the mountains on the map. So the question is, like, do I say get rid of one of my troops here? Right now I have 4 troops. Problem with lumberjacks is that they go into forests. There is a forest nearby. There's a lot of wood nearby. All right, I'm going to sell off the miners, and I'm going to try getting this ability because it seems weird. Do we need any... What do we have? Bread, stone. Designate all those. I mean, I feel pretty good about what we have, so... Where would I like to build a wall? Dude, I would like to build it right here is where I think I would like to build it. What's this? Oh, you can move the wall then. The only problem I have is I don't know if our guys can go over the wall. We're going to turn all those into military. And then I guess just like pump out an absurd amount of boats. I don't know, man. Let's try that. Technically, having guys on boats is good for us. I can't get over the wall. Oh, I'm screwed. I'm beyond screwed. Oh no. Do I get a mulligan? And now a brief recollection of your first experience bathing in dragonfire. For context, there are 2 fun facts about the dragonfire that distinguish it from run-of-the-mill fire. Fact 1. It does not consume fuel and radiate intense heat. Dragonfire does not produce any smoke. How odd. Fact 2. Dragonfire is loud, which is to say it's noisy, which is to say it literally screams as it burns. So, as to your experience, you remember instantly sweating in the heat and noise. You remember pushing your way through a throng of courtiers, all of them moving strangely as if caught in a dance. You remember searching desperately for an exit. An exit you eventually found, though a miracle. Bursting through a pair of double doors into the brisk autumn night, you were finally able to catch your breath. It was in this calm place with the heat and noise and a mass of bodies just behind you that someone offered you a light. You suspect the light is most likely what kept you alive. Great job. You've unlocked the alluring and self-destructive light of youth. Equip it in your office. That was an American-grade wall. You wake up and immediately wish to return to sleep. Your head pounds. What do you do next? What did you do to your throat, your skin? What did you do last night? After considering this question for a few seconds, you remember the dragonfire. You survived, sort of. It's too early. All of this is too early. With an intense amount of concentration, you and your body edge to the bed. You're certain you'll feel better after you get up, take a shower, maybe have some coffee. You just got to actually get up. Ugh, okay. Well, this massive bed. After incredible effort, you manage to get out of bed. I wish I had trumpets play every day I got out of bed. Go explore the court. What should you do? Observe the paintings in the hallway? How to interpret this one? A fantasy of revenge. The subject is smashing his guitar, most probably out of a seething hatred for rock and or roll. I think you misunderstood. I've heard it said that the smashing represents his fervent passion for rock and roll. How could you be sure? With his guitar smashed, surely he will find it difficult to participate in the day-to-day proceedings of rock and roll. You interject to suggest that the subject likely has already another guitar at hand, and the smashing might represent both his passion and his wealth of guitars. His Majesty's theory is compelling, but the evidence is circumstantial. After all, this theoretical secondary guitar is not featured in the painting. How can we be sure it exists? Perhaps the artist painted it somewhere in the negative space I've heard so much about. I suppose we'll need to keep an eye out for it. Investigate the dining halls. What should you do here? Get some breakfast? No. You got 10 water. Seems like there's a lesson here that's always have breakfast. In the time since you last went to war, a new job has been made available, specifically the youth job. Perhaps you should give it a try. Choose a different job. The potion of liking baseball sits in the sunlight. Consult the ever-changing map. Oh. With the exact extent of what you're supposed to be doing remains unclear, there's a growing list of something you think you should try to do. Recently, you've organized this list and placed it next to your ever-changing map for convenience. Achieve sufficiently personal change that you can safely leave the court at night. Achieve victory in the war. Achieve victory over the dragon. Use the youth job in battle. Escape the onslaught of catapults. Inspect the signs. You've yet to drink from the potion of liking baseball. One reason for that is your natural trepidation between something that you have been assured will change you. Another reason is that the potion's instructions clearly state that for best results, you should leave the potion in direct sunlight until it bubbles. While it's been sitting in your office collecting sunlight from the window since you brought it back, it is yet to start bubbling, so you continue to wait. Choose your court's job. Youth. Offensive job. Receive money for letting it burn. Extra 10 HP. Defensive tradition. Politely decline to ignite when offered the opportunity. When you burn any tile on the battlefield. It's the first time since your arrival that you relax. In response, you can feel the court change appearance and character. You wonder what the changes might mean for the war. So glad you asked. Allow me to answer. First, your starting cards have changed. You have a lumberjack. You have burn. And you have a storm. In particular, this card is essential to your new job. Experiment with it to find out how. What do I mean new job? Have a look over here. Your job is to watch the world burn. Instead of earning money by destroying the enemy, you earn money by any time a tile burns down. Any tile, not just castles. And one more thing, you'll be using this job, you'll be immune to fire. That's it, so good luck. Oh, okay. So there's all sorts of like different classes and stuff we start to get as well. Joke about negative spaces, right? Nerd. Plays the unbidden roguelike mode. I guess the only thing that would be left to do is to go to war. All right, let's do one more war. I gotta know what this new class is like. Maybe make things a little easier on yourself in the thermostat. Detailed analysis. Start with 2 mulligans. Decrease shop price. Start with 2 thorns. Enemy units will take damage when they attack the court. Start with an extra 10 bread. I'm interested in this one because I don't really understand what it does. Robin's calculator makes an appearance. I've been looking for that. Which battlefield should you traverse? Hills. What do we got? We got markets, birds and goons, chests with knights and goons, shops, available units. What's my to-do list? Use the youth in battle. Missing woods. Okay, woods are like extremely important to us. So let's go for this one because it's got chests. Consult Robin's battle calculator. There aren't any environmental hazards threatening the court that I can see. As for the enemy castles, these castles are empty. We don't need to worry about them. These ones are deploying units. Yeah, sure. This one is capable of attacking the court. All its units are defensive. However, it doesn't really pose a threat. It won't deploy its units until fairly late in the battle. This one is capable, but it's defensive. The court is in a moderate amount of peril. If we wish to maintain this position, we must move the court around without disturbing the rest of the battlefield until low tide arrives. That's all I have. Oh, interesting. Enemy knights behave in battle. My notes don't usually comment on minor enemy units, but a quick footnote here. Knights are defensive units that won't attack the court no matter the number. They will attack our units, workers and soldiers alike, whenever they draw near. They pose less of a threat than other enemy types, but that doesn't mean they're not annoying. Huh. And what do these give? Cornfield. Quick to match for food. Quick to travel by foot. Flammable. Does not match with wheat fields. Alright, well, now we're no longer being threatened. These things burn? A bit flammable. Ooh, yeah, that's good stuff. There's a chest there, so I want to try to keep that. And I feel like I want to leave as many flammable tiles as possible, because that's how we make money. So I am also like... Sorry, what units do we have? We do have lumberjacks. Currently, I don't have enough wood to even flame once. Okay, that was a bit of time units. Do that, and I can get these woods. But that would also knock off my ability to actually lumberjack anything. Not enough wood to set fire to wood. We have enough wood to set one fire. I mean, I could do that, and then that. And then this wood is a little bit closer. So I could get rid of those guys. I'd like to keep these chests in play if we can. It's fast to get across these fields, so honestly, those woods are not bad. I could also just move the court around a bunch. But, you know, I still get resources from matching other stuff at the moment. We get rid of them. And I could drop those guys down. Do that. Pick up that water. I don't want to get rid of that chest. Dude, this is a lot of stuff to burn. If I could get one more wood, I could do 2 fires. Right? Do I sacrifice a chest? Or... This costs nothing to rearrange? Oh yeah, because I guess it would make 2 sets. Flammable. Flammable. If I do that, I can make a wood down here. That means I don't really have a wood to get to with my lumberjacks. I'm gonna do that. Ah, I got rid of both of them. Well, that's a lot of stuff to burn, dudes. What do we got? We got 2 chests. We have centaur archers. Stopped by hills. Attacks the enemy from a distance. Okay, let's get those. And we have dragon's cough. Offensive spell. Raises tiles above you 1 at a time. I mean, we might as well get it. So I can burn 2 tiles. Oh, cook your surroundings. Oh, I did not realize that. You can only burn the immediate stuff around you. Will my own guys get hurt by this? Well, only one way to find out, I guess. Off you go. That guy doesn't spawn until way later, so... Oh yeah, it looks like my own guys are burning to death. Dude, did my lumberjacks bring back anything? Shoot him! Shoot him! Alright. So, better to be a bit more centralized with this build, I guess. The reeds on the map now? Yeah, they're introducing new mechanics every time. Youth Queen be like, this is fine. Missing woods. Unremarkable. +2 woods. Hospital. No, I've never seen a hospital before. Let's do that one. The court pulls up besides what appears to be a large and impressive toll booth. From the large and impressive toll booth emerges a large and impressive goat. He gives the court a quick look over and motions towards the sign. The sign reads, toll schedule. 2 axles, $1. 4 axles, $2. Ferry court, $4. Your Majesty, that appears to be a dire goat. I would recommend paying its toll if we have the means. They can get aggressive if we don't do what they want. Robin has notes on how the dire goat behaves. During battle, dire goats will quickly charge at the court. They're quick and they're strong. They cannot cross water. They also can't cross hills, but they can knock them down, which is exactly what they'll do to get to us. Our best bet at defense is to surround ourselves with lots of water and lots of hills. We could just try deploying a lot of defensive units. Dire goats tend to be single-minded and will leave our units alone while focusing on the court's destruction. Perhaps I should just pay the $4 toll. There's considerable excitement surrounding the rather large jar that's drifted into field. A large and imposing jar. Your Majesty, I advise you to steer the court away from that thing. Nay, Robin, such advice is in error. We must steer closer to the jar should we ever hope to open it. Every time we wage war in proximity to that jar, our soldiers neglect the battle in favor of attempting to open it. But we're still making progress, surely by now we at least have put a dent in it. The decision is yours, Your Majesty. If we must attack the jar, let's make sure the court is safe. A difficult jar. Open the jar. New quest. Let's just pay this toll. I don't want to deal with this goat. The goat nods and lifts the barrier. He also joins your side of the battle. Oh, well then doubly so. So we are here. Well, let's get rid of you. That's a pretty obvious choice. If I do that, I can also then get rid of some of you boys. This guy's kind of hard to get a hold of. I have a problem with just like all these forests are gonna burn. Hospital. Healing is not possible during high tide. Increase max health by 10. Offensive job. Earn 3 health for every confirmed kill. Well, is that a permanent buff? If so, let's take that. This guy's going to attack us if we go after the jar, which is kind of annoying. He's probably going to attack us no matter what. This is the only actually offensive guy. The goat was probably going to deal with him. So let's get rid of them. Ah, God damn it. The hospital disappeared. I wanted that cool ability. So I'll get rid of that water. I'll get rid of those 3. Ba-da-dum. I'm wondering if I use the waterfall on trees, will it stop it from burning in that direction? Like, I'm thinking about waterfalling that. Hospital's back, at least. Feels really great for a Steam Deck, similar to Nine Kings. Yes, I would agree. I think the same thing. Let's get rid of that water. Obviously, it reminds me a lot of He Is Coming as well, just like graphically. No, you have different stuff this time. Healthy spell. Restore yourself to full by reducing the max by 8. Increase max by 10. Alright, I'm going to increase our max HP. I wish we could have gotten that Bloodsucker passive, though. So, I'm going to set a fire, but then I'm going to storm here so that I can build a woodcutter. If I build a woodcutter, I can't build a centaur. And I need a centaur to open the jar.
Oh.
Do I still want to storm then? Yeah, you know what I do, because I want my centaur to go that way. I have no idea how this round's gonna work. Okay, okay. He's going after the jar. The goat is also trashing things, but I guess that doesn't really get me money. The jar's got 150 HP. We did about 100 to it. You know what's funny? If I lit the jar on fire, we probably would have opened it. With the toll paled and the battle weathered, the dire goat gives you a nod before returning to his toll booth and drifting away with the tide. Well, alright, we did okay. Missing woods, centaurs and goons. Extra water. Extra wood with chests, knights and goons. Let's do that one. We know what our focus is here. It's wood. Never played that one. Is it worth? It's on my wish list. Oh, He Is Coming is really fun. Yeah, I would recommend that one. You know, it's like a basic kind of quick roguelike run where you're just running around, you're getting items, you're trying to figure out like what matches, what mixes. But it's quite enjoyable. You look at the spyglass to see the signs. It says no parking. A curious symbol, a magical glyph of some sort, but I'm unfamiliar with the meaning. It seems to outlaw the letter P, yet it prevents me from not proclaiming provocations pertaining to the presence of P in any of my pronunciations. Perhaps. What do our scholars make of it? Hop answers, you are correct that this is a simple magical ward, but this one is of mortal origin. Perhaps His Majesty would care to explain to us its purpose. He winks at you and then retreats from the conversation. Put on the spot, you tentatively explain that the sign is attempting to prevent anyone from parking an automobile within its vicinity. Your courtiers appear to be highly amused by the explanation. Some even laugh out loud. Aha! It's supposed to be warding off cars. Cars? A strange new mortal superstition, similar to an ogre or troll, but made of metal. I think I've heard of that. It's a bit nostalgic, is it not? Mortals used to use their magic to ward off faeries. I remember it almost never worked, but it was probably less of a waste of time than this. After all, at least faeries exist. Seeing the look on your face, he backtracks a bit. No offense is intended, Your Majesty. I'm certain if cars were real, this ward would be doing a fine job. This game has a great amount of nonsense. Just a great amount. Ooh, get rid of you. Don't love that. So you're far enough down, you won't be a problem. Let's get rid of them. I could get that wood. Would I decide to? If I was to do this, I could also then get rid of that. Which could then also get rid of this. Oh, that puts us in a curious position. I don't want to be at the bottom of the map, but I also don't want to be next to hills if I can avoid it. I have very little food. Chest. They're quite low down. Not as low as I would have hoped. Get rid of them. Just another chest. This is the only guy who threatens me right now, and I don't really think he's a major threat. Because I think that he'll just burn. I'm gonna move right here. What do we got in the chests, Johnny? Plus 10 food. And another plus 10 food. And soldiers. Soldiers are good. What is this? Dragon's Cough. Offensive spell that raises tiles above you in exchange for wood and water. I don't really see a good use for this. I'm going to sell it off and get the soldier. That's going to burn there. That's going to burn there. I could actually do this.
Here we go.
They're 4 and 3.
Oh.
Let's do that. Do I want to do that? No, let's just do 2 of them. I have 4 lumberjacks already? Yeah, that's plenty. Because I want to burn down as much as I can. Yeah, this is a pretty good spread. It's a pretty good spread this round. Let's go. Big fires. I guess the big thing is like castles burn really slow compared to everything else. So what do we have here? Volcanoes. Volcanoes with a shop, Knight and Goons. Or volcanoes with a hospital, Scamps and Goons. Let's go with the shop. We got a lot of money right now. What's the benefit of burning those down? So as a youth, the youth queen, I only get money when burning things down. The normal queen gets money when the soldiers knock things down, but I get money from burning. Not long after encountering the previous toll, you happen upon a second toll booth. Another goat emerges. All right, bro, you know the drill. Cross a bridge, pay a toll. Toll today is $8. Chop chop. This is considerably higher than the previous toll. Are you expected to believe that the price has changed so suddenly? Listen, lady, my booth is old and rusty. This thing isn't going to open unless you grease it a little bit, if you get what I'm saying. You sigh. Unfortunately, you do get what he's saying. All right, let's just pay him the money. We got the cash. That's more like it, bro. Now, excuse me while I collect the toll from those other losers. Storage unit remains locked. You know, I got this battle calculator. But, I wish I didn't. It's not really as good as I had hoped it would be. You notice a slightly different hill has made an appearance on the battlefield. You hate to ask, but those are definitely volcanoes. Yes, Your Majesty, when those volcanoes erupt, their surroundings will take 6 damage and burst into flame. Quick notification. When Robin says the volcano surroundings takes damage, that includes diagonal neighbors. Also, you can see when the volcanoes will erupt over here in the timeline. Also, please note that volcanoes actually match with standard hills for some reason. With this life-saving information now imparted, I will take my leave. The court is currently immune to fire. Does that also mean it's immune to volcanoes? The answer is yes. Thanks. What's in the shop? Ooh. Enemies become friends for water. That's really good. If you provide the raw material stone, your health can be repaired. Defensive spell. Lay a trap for your enemies that halts their movement, even flyers. Defensive wall. Oh man, there's a lot of good items in there. Okay. I'm in a corner right now, which I don't love. And I really don't see any way out of there other than just moving. Was a nice one. Trying to get rid of some of the homeboys. What do I need? I guess I need food, right? More than anything right now. That'll be a twofer. I'd like to keep this shop alive. I'd also like to keep these volcanoes alive. Though it's looking a bit like easier said than done. I'm going to move the castle. Hup, 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 hup. Nobody threatens us right now, which is great. That's going to explode all along here. All right. Shopkeep. I quite like this enemies become friends idea. I also quite like our centaurs. Oh, they're stopped by hills. But you know what? I think that's okay. I'm going to sell off the soldiers. I'm going to take this charm spell. Kind of tempted to remove the lumberjacks. And take cobwebs. All right, let's do it. Robin have notes on how cobwebs function. Cobweb is a trap that ensnares enemy units. Any unit that steps onto it will be caught and able to fly. Cobwebs take damage every time they ensnare something. If they catch too much, they will break. Also, they are very flammable. Can you at least assume that your own units will steer clear of the cobwebs? What do you think? No. Correct. Either way, those are all the notes I have. I was hoping that cobwebs would be extra flammable. So I'm pretty glad to report that. Let's light everything on fire. I guess I'll get a centaur. I could probably hire this guy and he would at least smash these castles. Does that make sense? I guess he won't smash his own castle. My next big question. Oh, they must be on a tree. All right, never mind. Trees are already flammable. I just wanted him to help on the burning stuff down process. Pack of darts. Smoking. Cool dudes. So all that's on fire now. Oh, smoking so many cigarettes. Smoking cigarettes for days. My God, look how much we love cigarettes. Half pint.
17 years, but a ride to be played like a puppet and repeat what these peasants say without pay. I'm rebelling.
Oh no. More rebels. Chat is revolting. Oh, I don't think they look that bad though. Having paid the toll in full, you're in good standing with the goats and can proceed with minimal interference. Rocks, missing woods, generic, with chests, scamps and goons, knights and goons. I think we'll take generic. Ooh, a new billboard. Tacos. The desire for a taco is universal. That's true. Quite a bold claim. Does Her Majesty agree? Yes. To be honest, you really could go for a taco right about now. But that is insufficient proof for the universality of such a desire. Yeah, that is what you were about to suggest. As such, the billboard's claim remains unproven, but also unrefuted. I mean, it makes sense to me. Let's get rid of all these hills. Let's get rid of these dweebs. Too much water on this map. Water doesn't burn, so it's no good to me. That water's got a chest, though. That's a different story. There's a lot of soldiers on this map. Uh-oh. There's a lot of soldiers on this map. Court is in considerable peril. We must have a solid plan for these threats. If not, we might be cooked. Currently, my plan is to burn everybody. You guys are knights, so I don't have to worry too much about you. You're also a knight. But this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy are all attacking. That guy can't actually attack me. This guy is attacking very early. But the good news is if I form centaurs, they'll attack him right away. I might want more food. All right, Johnny, what do you got in the chest? Increase max health by 10. I'll take it. How can you say no to that? Gonna put a web down there. Guy's pretty low down. But we could also web him if we wanted. Obviously, everything needs to go on fire. Oh, I could charm a goon. Let's charm those guys. Two centaurs? Bit nervous about this. See, they ran out and got themselves on fire right away. Uh-oh. Ouch. 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 Lots of ouch. Stupid centaurs lighting themselves on fire. At least we have a lot of money. If we can find a hospital, we can heal up. You notice with some satisfaction that the court has acquired a considerable amount of wealth during this war. You are not the only one to notice this wealth, however, as priests from the cult of the market soon arriving demanding an audience. Uh-oh. Our business is simple, Your Majesty. It's been quite known to the Church of the Market for some time that the Titanium Court has been operating without appropriate spiritual guidance. You do not have a Bishop of Market among your upper management. In fact, as far as we can tell, you do not have any upper management at all. Yes, despite drawing power from Market, you do not have any executives aboard or even a mission statement. Your cash flows are unoptimized and you've sent no representatives to our corporate retreats. The Church considers these infractions to be nothing short of fiscal heresy. Of course, we were willing to overlook all of this when the court was operating at a consistent loss, but now that it's profitable, they would like a cut, you assume. A cut? Hardly. The opposite, in fact. The Church of Market demands a merger. Worry not, our legal team will handle all the paperwork. Your titles will remain unchanged, although we provide a competent management team to oversee all operational decisions henceforth. You suppose you might as well ask what the consequences of refusal would be. Futility. We are prepared to pursue a merger by force if necessary. You weren't aware that the court was listed on any sort of public index that would facilitate such a takeover. Could they tell you which one? Surprised by this question, the three of them huddle and confess for a few minutes before addressing you again. Your Majesty is a shrewd negotiator. We have adjusted our offer as follows. To preserve the cultural leadership of the Titanium Court, we now offer to prepare one of your existing courtiers to act as the court's spiritual guide. Whoever you choose will accompany us to our cathedral, where they will be trained and ultimately ordained as a fully fledged priest of Market. This offer certainly seems a bit more reasonable, but you refuse to send anyone unwilling to go. Could there really be someone among your courtiers who will willingly enter into the power of this sinister cult? Can I send the cat? The answer is yes. Your Majesty, I've been thinking about getting my MBA for a while now. Please send me. You have absolutely no objections, and thus Leland, so that's his name, leaves with the cultists to go to business school. Goodbye, Leland. The court of capitalism. All right, we have woods with a hospital and a shop, catapults and goons. Oh man, let's go there. Missing fields. So I don't really have any way to get food here. But there is a shop, so... Or, correction, there is potentially a shop. What are you? Egg zone! There are eggs over here. Could someone tell me about those eggs? Considerable peril. Alright. We'll work on the egg zone. I could drop my court to the bottom of the map. Not a terrible play. Catapult can't hit me now. Receive money, receive health whenever you gather water until the drip is done. Increase max health. Autumn woods does not match with summer woods. Inflammable. Inflammable means flammable? What a country. Are you flammable? No, not only that, you're not going to give me any tips. Ooh, I've got a problem. It's all these guys. A lot of guys on the map right now. Old Craig from accounting. I got a problem, and it's a lot of these guys on the map. I think we might be pooched. What do you have? Gunboat. Shield. Trust fund. Offensive tool. Doubles in sell value every battle, otherwise useless. Sidestep. Move in any direction as long as it's horizontal. 3 food, 2 water. I mean, we can still charm people, which I keep forgetting we have as a spell and is very powerful. We're not going to burn Jack here today. Let's get rid of them. I need to get guys down here is my problem. Oh, I got a pocket of them. You guys are safe. You guys are safe. That'll kill the shop if I do it. That will also kill the shop. I really wish it would tell me what the egg zone does. Because I don't know whether or not I should be burning it or letting it live. Are there things I need in this shop? Oh, you're a different shop. Absorb local water to recover health. Burbs. Move to a new location. Working job. Receive a $2 paycheck at the start of each low tide. All right, there's some really good stuff in here. That does not necessarily kill the shop. It depends on what's above that water. I'm going to risk it. Okay. A mysterious egg is on the battlefield. You receive a fascinating offer from the egg zone. Your Majesty, great to see you again. Still trying to get home? Anyway, do I have an offer for you? He gestures at the large pile of eggs. That's right, you could become the proud owner of your very own football. Is he talking about the eggs? Eggs? What eggs? I've only got footballs here. They clearly look like eggs. Your Majesty, they are American footballs. I hear those are shaped like eggs. Hey, if you're going to call your football an egg, call it an egg. Who am I to judge? The important part is I'm prepared to part with one of these footballs for an incredibly low price. In fact, I'm prepared to pay you to take one with you. If he's willing to pay you to take one, there must be downsides to doing it. You'd like to know what it is. Raising a football is a big responsibility. Too big for me. But you seem like you've really got it together. You've got a whole magical court. You command vast armies. You ask questions before agreeing to stuff. I can't think of anyone better suited to carrying one of these babies to victory. Well, to answer your questions, you know how the game of football works, right? You lose the ball, you get a penalty. I can't keep racking up these penalties, Your Majesty. I'm going to go broke. But I doubt that'll be a problem for you. So what do you say? Collect 10 bucks. Restore yourself to full health. Collect 22 food or 22 water. Dude, restore myself to full health would be pretty baller right now. You collect the signing bonus along with the egg, thus assuming responsibility for shepherding it to victory. Oh, so now I also have to make sure that the egg is safe. Shop is open for business. Definitely let's get this free money because it pays for itself in 2 turns. Angels are 3 food, 1 wood. Boy, I really like centaurs, but they cost an awful lot. I think that's it. I think we have to start laying out guys. I better charm you. I'm gonna have to put out the egg. You're the last guy to go. You're the first guy to go. I don't know if this guy will die is my biggest problem. I actually don't think he will. I'm going to charm him. Because he'll go and he'll attack the catapult. He'll go attack that guy. Three wood for these. I could probably web that. Then why don't I web that? Where's he going? Okay. Oh yeah, they really get slowed down by those webs. Our dude got killed there. Okay, that's not the worst. We take a little bit of damage. We get to keep our egg. As you might expect, given the day, you're having a third toll booth now makes an appearance. As you might expect from your previous encounter, just a third dire goat emerges from within. Gentle travelers, welcome. Your journey has been hard, but the destination is worth it. You've arrived at the spiritual bridge, covering the divide between desire and fulfillment, struggle and victory, frivolity and meaning. Like many bridges, however, there is a toll. Please embrace this final test of spirit. It's going to be about 24 bucks. Look, I don't set the prices, okay? It's like surge pricing or something. Fulfillment and meaning are both really popular destinations. Bring the football to the end zone. Achieve victory over the dire goats. Here's the good news. I do actually have enough money for this. What do we have? Hills with no water. Hills with no water in a hospital. You have a market and a shop. Boats and goons. Boats and goons. Well, I don't feel like boats are going to be much of an issue if water is missing. So, yeah, we'll take that. I'm just going to pay the goat. Enlightenment is within your reach. Allow me to hold off your pursuers as you take the final necessary steps. While the field is broken, arrange it to your advantage. So, Pirate Cove. Gunboats are restricted to water. What are these? Winter Hill. Very slow to travel on foot. Does not match with summer hills. Oh, my egg is down here. Or sorry, my football is down here. Okay, that was quite the combo. Two goons in there. You know, I'm just like stuck in another one of these spots right now. I do at least have centaurs. I think gunboats shoot from a distance, so, and I don't know how far they can shoot. And I just killed a shop. Oh, they match with other castles. That I didn't know. I assumed they had to match with gunboats. That was a big match. She's getting a wee bit chaotic right now. Two gunboats. Two gunboats, you say? I need to protect the egg. Nice. Nice. Let's do that one. Let's get rid of them. I think I'm just going to charm the two of those guys. Honestly. Takes a lot to move gunboats. If I did that, I'd get rid of my shop. I only have $5. Scamp. Offensive faerie, fast, fierce, and fragile. All boulders become woods. That would have been really good for us. Tactically place a water tile. You know what? I don't know that I really need that shop. This will get me some points back too. 1, 2. Trying to figure out like where are the good combos fit for me right now, or if there's any even left. Yeah, like I could... Actually, I could just ally him and destroy that guy. I have some fear about the water. All right, I think I'm going to do that. So... we did lose our shop, but that's okay. I'm going to ally him. And I think he'll just be destroyed that way. Safety first. I'm going to light the two of these guys on fire. I'm going to web those trees. The goat's going to kill those guys. I mean, there's a part of me that's like, well, I could charm that boat and then it would shoot anybody else who comes through. But I'm also thinking like, well, we're for sure going to have the dragon in the next fight, so... I have enough to get a centaur here. Safely. Let's do that. You got stuck in your own web. You idiot. Well, we might be okay. The goat is taking a lot of damage, but he's also keeping everybody at bay. With the final toll paid in victory, the court is now free to proceed. Rejoice, traveler, your long-awaited rest is finally at hand. May prosperity welcome you. For a brief moment just beyond the toll booth, the lane separating the pieces of the battlefield disappear. The chaos is strangely calming. You suddenly believe it's possible to change in a place like this, to exit to something different than what was entered. Such a notion shocks you with the strength of its allure. But it lasts only for a brief moment. Soon enough, the lanes return, and whatever constitutes order within the tide reasserts itself. economic victory. 7 battle. I didn't have to fight the dragon this time. Property damage index. Moral. Sometimes keep loose change in your vehicles at all times. Do I also get a football? Having demonstrated your burgeoning skill, your tolerance for a new challenge grows. Ooh. You can increase your maximum level of strife to 1. With the war now behind you, you encounter a memorial dedicated to its victims. Memorial to those fallen in war 27. Some among your courtiers roll their eyes at this. Oh, they'll be back. Now, having carried your football from the egg zone to the end zone, your duty of care is complete. Touchdown. 7 points. Band-aids on. Toilet plumbed. Sunglasses. The curse is lifted. On this day, the Queen of Titanium Court did unburden her people of the curse of guardianship, and there was jubilation. You're going to be honest. Given the appearance, you genuinely had expected the football to hatch. Perhaps it was unfertilized. Now, having expended much of its energy during the day, the court retires to bed. I like how I got cursed, but I don't even know what the curse did, right? You awaken suddenly in your chamber. Something about your surroundings doesn't feel right. You can't see much as you look out from the balcony. This guy is pitch black. Something is clearly wrong with the courtyard. It's super disorienting. The ground shakes and your stomach churns. Take a deep breath. You keep your sights on the door. Oh, no. I mean, can I just do this? Ooh, okay. After moving through many unfamiliar halls, you find yourself in front of the court's great gates. Perhaps the court is trying to tell you now would be a prudent time to depart. Who can say? What should you do here? Explore the west wing, return to the courtyard, try to open the gates, look out from atop the walls. Let's look out first. Okay, there's nothing outside. Let's try to open the gates. You make an attempt to open the great gates. They don't budge. You notice that there are 4 locks on the gates, leading you to assume that 4 keys of some sort are necessary to open them. I'm going to guess maybe we did one of them with the economic victory. A thrilling view, right? What do we do in the west wing? Stretch forever, head towards your office. I mean, let's go forever. Labyrinth entrance. Have you even been here before? Might as well keep going. Dude, there's so many little mini puzzles in this. The ladder, the stairs, the door. Let's go to the ladder. You end up getting lost. There's a note taped to the door, which now appears to be locked. Because he wasted Her Majesty's time, the labyrinthine hallways are being reprimanded. They're currently in a timeout and will not be available again until tomorrow. Management. Oh my god. Yes. So not the ladder is the answer. A chapel? I mean, we've never been there. You find yourself in the court's chapel where a television displaying a test pattern stands at the pulpit. There's a solitary figure standing in front of the TV. You can't see him from this distance, but you know immediately it's Puck. Approach Puck and find out what's happening. As you take a step forward, the walls of the court shake with great intensity. You wouldn't be surprised if everything were to collapse the moment you speak to Puck. You hesitate. You don't need to do this yet. There might be somewhere else to see. I guess let's not talk to Puck then. There is stuff in the office that's new. Head towards the east wing. Enter your office. What's in the east wing? A foyer of statues. Goat statue. Dining hall. A pantry. I guess the goat room we just opened. An essential part of any building. The break room. Take a break. You're surprised to discover the water cooler towers over you. As if it weren't enough, it also hums with the sound of hushed whispers. The longer you stand near it, the more the whispers begin to cohere into something legible. You know what I heard? I heard that those goat brothers are all employed by a terrible troll. I heard he threatens them with poverty, with homelessness, with the intervention of inequitable violence. Each powerless to stand against him, they continue to do his terrible bidding. But you know what else I heard? I heard that the troll keeps the brothers separated because he can't stop them when they work together. If only they could be reunited, perhaps the troll could be stopped. But that's just what I've heard. That's about as much as you can stomach. You carefully retreat from the water cooler. You get +2 hydration. Okay. Let's go down into the pantry. The cat is over here. As you approach, the cat immediately makes demands of you. Purr, great queen, how fortuitous. My campaign to subdue this province in your name has reached a stalemate. Morale, the locals have transformed the terrain itself into a weapon. Look, the sheer cliff vexes my powerful and mighty frame. It kind of seems like he's probably trying to climb up on one of the high shelves here and is running into trouble. Meow, yes, and so I seek your aid. But alas, the royal height is also insufficient for this purpose. Mew, surely such an obstacle cannot surpass the resources at your disposal. Yeah, you suppose you could pile up some of the junk in here to help him out. It's not like the court is going to use any of it right now. Would you like to add something to the pile? Let's add 20 stone. Ooh. If I stack 3 of them together, is he able to get to the sandwich? That's enough for now. Dude, this game has a lot into it. I love it. The dining hall is this way. Is there nothing going on here? An argument appears to be taking place. You can see the participants clearly. After listening for a bit, you surmise that the argument concerns the thermostat and its current setting. You cannot be that satisfying. I just don't believe you actually enjoy that. What's not to like about taking it easy? It's boring. Who cares? Boredom is underrated. Relax. You think you've heard enough and are preparing to quietly leave when it's His Majesty. Maybe she can help with this. I believe Her Majesty is the only one who can settle this. All right. Our debate concerns the thermostat. It's my firm belief that only by maximizing our strife will we find any meaning in this war. Yeah, but who needs meaning? Let's have a good time. Let's crank up the comfort. Either way, since Your Majesty is the only one with enough authority to make these adjustments, we ask you to render judgment. Should you make the correct decision and raise our strife to level 5, I will give you this, a nondescript key. But you know that's going to be hard. You should just chill out and raise the comfort to level 5 instead. He produces a different key. You'll win this one, easy peasy. I fail to see how anything done at comfort 5 could qualify as winning. I mean, who cares? Those keys look awfully familiar. Where did they get them? No comment. We're not permitted to reveal that information. Puck gave them to us. Yeah, who cares? His Majesty probably figured that out anyway. The thermostat is only at comfort level 1. Feels pretty good. Despite these protestations, you can't adjust the thermostat until tomorrow. They're both going to have to wait. Okay, so that's 2 of the like end game victories. Oh, this is cool. Do I keep passives between runs? If so, that's huge. If so, that's very huge. All right, we got stuff in the office to look at. You move to enter your office and surprised to discover it's locked or maybe stuck. Perhaps there's someone wedged a bunch of pamphlets in the gap. You tug on one of them, but it refuses to budge. A small corner you can read. The pamphlet appears to be extolling the virtue of patience or some such. Okay, explore elsewhere. Gates. The courtyard. Chapel, gates, chambers. Maybe I do have to go talk to Puck. You're earlier than expected, my queen, and yet somehow still too late. He mutters something under his breath and gives you his full attention. Well then, you had questions for me, did you not? It looks like we've precisely enough time for one earnest answer. You express some incredulity at this statement. He's prepared to answer your questions? He flinches in response. My queen, you simply must wield your skepticism with greater subtlety. The statement was clearly formed as a question. Ah, damn it. A question which I'm afraid I must now answer. So yes, in this time and place, I am both willing and able to give you a satisfying response without resorting to deflection or trickery. With the one restriction being that, as I said, we have time for only one such response. A response of which I have just provided in answer to your question of whether I am now prepared to provide such responses. Which means our time is now up. I pray you will never see me here again. And then everything falls apart. With time and repetition comes comfort. Your maximum level of comfort increases to 2. Okay. You awaken your chambers as if nothing is ever amiss. You safely conclude that escaping the court will require more than a simple victory. You suppose this comes as no surprise, given everything the potion salesman told you about needing to make an exit. Well, at least you've learned that if you make it to victory, Puck will answer one of your questions. A very slow way of going about this might continue winning until you've gathered enough information to see yourself out the door. You rub your temples thinking about how long that's going to take up, and you go to face the day. Dude, there's new stuff every single day. Observe a new painting. The artist has pulled a fast one on us. Look closely. They've neglected to paint the subject's athletic shorts. You're correct. How strange. Even stranger, the shorts are still clearly part of the painting despite not being painted. This is a useful technique for saving paint, undoubtedly. Puck is just down the halls. He doesn't appear to have noticed you. You're certain that if he had, he would be making a hasty exit. Now might be a good time to follow in and observe him what duties your steward is performing. Sneak, 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 sneak. Sneak, 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 sneak. The labyrinth. He goes through the door. And then up the stairs to the left. This is a little tedious. You can click and hold the mouse button to speed up the proceedings. Try it in battle, too. And then down the ladder. And then around the house and back out the same door you came in. And then up the ladder into the library. Part of the court you'd not yet discovered. A vast library extends before you. Wait a minute. You suddenly realized with some annoyance that while you were gaping at the scenery, Puck managed to slip out of your sight. What should you do here? He slipped behind a bookcase. Maybe you can figure out how. You inspect the bookcase you think Puck slipped behind. It doesn't budge when you attempt to move it. You try removing a random selection of books. It has no effect. I mean, he took a book from that shelf. But okay. Go to the dining hall, eat breakfast. Get my 10 food. 10 wood. No. I don't want to see to the business of the day. I guess we can only do the labyrinth at the end of the day then? Still not bubbling. Go to war. Choose a different job. Look at the ever-changing map. There's a lot of trees. I don't know what that guy is. Recover at least 4 keys so you can unlock the gate. Raise the comfort or strife to level 5 and settle the argument of the dining hall. Find a way to reunite the 3 dire goats. Complete the pile in the pantry at night. Achieve victory over the dragon. Open the jar. Achieve sufficient personal change so you can safely leave the court at night. My passive is gone, though. So I guess that doesn't stick around. But cool. Termite breakfast, right? Bit of wood for breakfast. Delicious. I think before we head back into war, again, we'll leave our first look at this. Because it seems like the perfect little place for us to cut this video. This is Titanium Court by A.T. Thompson. I'd recommend it, man. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm very curious about where it goes. It's definitely got some really good meta progression and whatnot. It is a little delight to play. Not too crazy. Definitely very good on Steam Deck, I would suspect. So if you like it, check it out. It's on Steam now. We'll see you back here next time. Bye-bye.